My name is Ratnos, and today we're going to take a look at a Skyreach plus 18 run by Dignitas in their undefeated path through the MDI Season 1 final. We're going to play this a few times since it happens all so fast. Within the first second, AJ and Hearthjax use their CC effects to lock down the two humanoids that are normally in the first pack, while Kira tags in the Raven with Moonfire and uses Stampeding Roar to get himself and his teammates into position faster. AJ runs forward to tag extra enemies, while his teammates head back instead towards the dungeon entrance. Everyone now needs to get up to the first boss's platform. Hearthjax shifts twice, Verb rescues Kira, Yargi uses the Wernstone that Verb bestowed to him before the key started,
Oh my
and AJ
fucking
uses
god.
Transcendence Linked Spirits. Just 7 seconds
the
into
fuck?
the run, Dignitas are all up in the boss room, and Kira has already gathered most of the trash that is required to spawn the boss. Most groups don't even think about skipping up here without a Warlock Gateway, but now that you've seen it in the MDI, you should feel free to demand this route in your pug. Offensive cooldowns and Bloodlust make short work of this pull, while the tagged trash continues to join over time. Enemies not required to spawn the boss are lower priority, as Dignitas are laser focused. And then, once the boss spawns, this focus continues, as Dignitas switch all their damage with the second half of Bloodlust straight into the boss. Midway through the fight, the two enemies that were CC'd at the start of the dungeon join the action, but Dignitas don't want to get them under the boss until the perfect time, so they use Ursul's Vortex and Ring of Peace to make sure that they don't join the boss until the end of the Chakram Vortex phase. As the boss gets low, Dignitas pre-position themselves towards the exit, then quickly gather the next pull. This one is scary for Kira, as the adepts stack a nasty bleed with successful auto attacks, but he is able to drop stacks by carefully backpedaling to avoid getting hit for a few seconds, plus Verb's cauterizing Flame in a pinch. Arachnath is one of the less threatening bosses for Dignitas, so they make sure to add a few extra enemies to keep it interesting, while focusing on intercepting the Energized Beams immediately to avoid healing and buffing the boss. They make good use of the ping system to indicate an unsoaked beam before it becomes a problem, something all of us could do more in Arcade. The next boss, Rookrim, is also all about damage optimization for Dignitas, to the extent that they would rather tank the Searing Quills than hide behind the pillar, committing Darkness, Anti-Magic Zone, and Zephyr to the cause. Another nice use of the ping system here comes from Hearthjax. He's macroed an assist ping on himself with his Darkness, so that his teammates can always quickly identify where it's being dropped. After Rookron goes down, we have another parkour moment, as Dignitas have no intentions of fighting against the wind and running through the full gauntlet. Hearthjax uses Shift, while Verb is able to rescue both Yargi and Kira, as Kira's travel form has let Yargi tag along. He again uses Transcendence Linked Spirits to teleport to a party member. Kira pulls the next trash pack forward and to the right, while the rest of the group runs through to the left. Then Kira hits Shadow Meld to drop combat since those enemies are inefficient and particularly dangerous. Then Dignitas charge up the left side of the room together, pulling all of the enemies along the way, plus all of the enemies in the final boss room together with Bloodlust. The two exceptions are another two mobs, an Adept and an Initiate, CC'd by AJ and Hearthjax off to the side. As those aren't required to spawn the boss, they'll be easy to kill along with the boss later, and another Adept in particular would be quite deadly for Kira. Midway through the pull, Verb even finds the time to knock the two CC'd mobs directly on top of each other to open back up some space in the room and make them easier to grab together later. Once the rest of the trash is dead, Yargi death grips these two in while the boss spawn animation plays. And then it's once again time for boss damage optimization. High Sage Vyrah spawns Solar Zealots frequently, but Dignitas have no interest in focusing most of these down, and luckily the augmentation Evoker alone allows them to ignore most of the spawns. The first Zealot targets Yargi, so Verb bestows a Wernstone to allow him to easily teleport out of captivity. For the second, Breath of Eons, Void Metamorphosis, and Army of the Dead are all rolling, so Dignitas instead stack up under the boss so that the ad will travel there regardless of who it targets. Then they blow it up quickly and efficiently for free with all of their cooldowns rolling. The third targets Verb, who can use his own Wernstone to escape, and Dignitas don't even see a fourth spawn as their damage absolutely melts the boss. This amazing run ensured Dignitas defeated Mandatory before taking down Liquid to secure the title of Season 1 champion. Congratulations to them, and we can't wait to see them live at BlizzCon for the MDI 2026 Grand Final.
Damn, what the fuck is this route? This start by FQ plus gravity. We go. You told us to go to go forward. We go backward. The fuck? This is really cool. This was really entertaining and interesting. I still do not see myself like watching this for 6 hours and be like, yeah, let's go. Even like race to world first. This was cool.